There we are. All right. So I believe we're doing the first live Zoom. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Conscious Radio Network. I'm your host, Dr. Paul Mekas. So we are going to have a special guest today, Graham Williamson. He lives here in the great, warm, sunny state of Florida. He is a medical intuitive, medium, psychic, clairvoyant, healer, teacher, officiant, Reiki, reflexology, the list goes on. Certified medium, healer, and minister, 3 years, let's see, Morris Ministry in the Morris Pratt Institute, a member of the NSAC, National Spiritualist Association of Churches, certified schooling of mediumship, studying various certified mediumships and classes or camps. Let me let him know that we are ready. We are, there we go. Okay, let's see here. Let's bring up the thing here. So, all right, where's Graham? Graham. So this is the our first live through Zoom on into the our YouTube channel. So I've been doing some experiments and stuff like that over the last couple of days to make sure I had some stuff set up. So let's see, where are we here? Let's see, where is he? Where is he? I'm going to send him an invite. I sent him an invite, but didn't quite get it. Let's see, where are we? Where are we? We are a little early. 3:50. There we go. Welcome.
Hey. All right. Let's see if we can make it bigger. There we go. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Good afternoon, my friend.
Good afternoon. And I told the rest of the people that are watching good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, because we don't know where they are.
Have a drink of water, help me.
Salud. Had to have me some tea.
I got rid of caffeine 20 years ago.
Yeah. Luckily, this doesn't have any caffeine because I have to sleep tonight.
Tea, it has caffeine.
Herbal?
Doesn't matter.
Really?
Yeah, it's the way it's boiled, goes into the drink.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I'll remember that.
Yeah, I decided when I started a new life here with my wife,
yeah,
I clean myself up as best I can. I'm not fastidious, so I just quit everything artificial I could.
Oh, no worries. It makes it more personable.
Yeah, and it's amazing how your life suddenly improves.
Right? Yep. We can't all expect perfection all the time.
No.
People get in a hissy fit and then their life becomes miserable. I was like, we can't expect too much.
Yeah. But I may be joining in with a group for a seminar with the WGSN, and part of the summit, and we'll want to put our little slant on it. There's four of us I know. Well, there's the director and 3 other people involved, and I've already got it. The title is All ways, always.
Aha. Yeah. There you go. Always.
Always, always.
Yeah.
And this morning we went to the fairground at Eustace, and there's a very interesting chap who's into ancient stuff.
Yeah.
He does antiquities and stuff like that. And he came today and he showed us stuff 2,000 years old, 3,000 year old, and such like. And I'm looking at his stuff and Roman coins and antiquities of various things. He says, "How do you see so much?" I said, "Well, in fact, I'm pretty blind. But if I hold it to the light and angle it, a different perspective, I can see." And then I turn it around and look at it again, look at it again, look
Yeah.
at it, all different ways. And then I've got a full panoramic viewpoint of perspective.
Yeah.
And he's looking at me and goes, "Do you always do that?" She says, "He's being polite. He's telling you what he's doing."
Right.
And
Yeah.
he gave me a gift of a Roman coin that's, was it 5th BC?
Yeah.
Well, no, after Christ, 5 years after Christ.
Okay.
Roman
Yeah.
coin.
Okay.
I don't know, what the heck?
Wow.
And he gave it me. I don't know, what? Why? He says, "You genuinely like antiquity.
Yeah.
Genuinely like what you see. And if you don't like it, you say, I don't like it."
Right.
You know,
And sometimes after a while it'll grow on you. I mean, it'd be like, oh, now I like it.
and you see, he held one Caesar before he even handed it to me. I said, "I don't want to touch it. No, just go away with it." He said, "What?"
Yeah.
He said that would be one of the nastiest Caesars ever recorded. He was abusive, sadistic, and everything. I forget all, because he knows all the names, I don't. And he said this particular Caesar was known for evil. And I didn't even want to touch the coin. He hadn't even told me anything. He just says, "What do you think of this?" I said, "I don't want to touch it."
Huh.
I said, "Why?" I said, "Don't want to touch it. No, don't even show me."
Yeah.
And he thought, I said, "I don't want it." And he, "How can you pick that up?" He says, "Well, this is what Graham does." I've been thinking about this afternoon show, what we're going to discuss. I have no clue, Paul. I'll go by your lead. Okay.
Well, the best thing we could do is I briefly, before you came on, I gave a quick introduction of you, what I was able to pull off of your Facebook page.
Thank you.
So if you would like to kind of retort on that and be a little bit more specific. So where are you? Let everybody know where you're from, your journey up to now. Because the story you told us at the Orlando Psychic Fair or the Spirit Fest was very intriguing.
Yeah.
When you started, because we talked about the fairies, we talked about the leprechauns a little bit, and the earth elements, the elements, elemental spirits, and you did touch base a little bit also too on the medical intuitive work that you do. So that would definitely be great to for our guests.
And I can do a little bit of a demo if somebody wants. There's no future readings or love readings or anything like that. But if anybody would like a demonstration, depending on what spirit want, I'll do. But I'm not going to go in depth. If they want in depth, they've got to contact me via you or directly. That's fine by me. But
yeah, and if anybody wants to reach out to Graham on his Facebook page, Graham Williamson, Williamson. And we'll put the information too on the description after the video gets fully on our YouTube channel and stuff. Your contact information if they want to reach out to you, reach out for your services.
Yeah, definitely. These chairs are not very good. On the slide, all the time.
It's like one of those old plastic school chairs where they purposely made it uncomfortable to sit in when you had to sit in them for 8 hours.
I've got a coffee table. I can put my feet on it and it stops me sliding. 'Cause I'm using an old sewing desk, and it's perfect height for me. Because
Oh,
this
wow.
is my corner for my grandson's picture, my mum's dream catcher, family pictures, and my grandmother's stuff, and art from Diane Matthews, Orlando.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They purposely
My
made it.
grandfather. Perfectly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They got like a the ancestry altar. Or
Yeah.
the altar for all your ancestors and stuff like that. Yep.
You know, I love Diane and a daughter as well. And I either get on with it or I don't. I don't waste
Yeah.
energy. It's, you know, I won't say it's love, but it's a like of the positivity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think too many people are too embarrassed to say what they truly feel. They think it's offensive. But when you try and mix with somebody of a negative, you're offending yourself.
Yeah.
And you're only here to learn your highest and best. So if you go into negativity, you ain't learning your highest and best. So that's my perspective.
Yeah, exactly. And
My
right
phone
now,
is on vibrate.
oh, there you go. Yeah, I had to turn the audio off on mine because most of the time I either get spam calls.
Oh,
No, and most of them are all, you want to extend your auto warranty. I was like, no.
when I talk to somebody, I know not to say yes or no. And I talk to them and I keep them on the phone, and near the end I say, now I've kept you for this long. Can you leave me alone? Because you are soliciting and that you have been recorded and my attorney will be in touch with you. And I never hear from them again.
Yeah.
But I like to waste their time so it's not bothering somebody else. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking, we got a minute.
No.
You tell me when we start.
So, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in England. I was actually one of 5 siblings at the time. There's a story about that.
Yeah.
A place called Derby. And we actually lived with our grandparents. My father left when I was about a year and a half of age. And we lived in a place called Castle Donington. It's an old part of England, central England. And it's on a mount, a huge mount. And it used to have a bomber airport for the Second World War.
Oh.
Wellington bombers, Lancaster bombers used to be up in this airport. And we used to play there as kids with all the bunkers and the pillboxes and all the rest of it, and rabbiting. And this is where I found I could talk to fairies at the bottom of the garden. Now, my siblings said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. But I only did it when I was on my own. Because it was my alone time. I was the black sheep of the family because I was different. I didn't want to be with everybody. I just wanted my space and nature. And there used to be a stream that ran across the bottom of the garden. It was more like a culvert. So when the rains were really bad, the water used to come through. And every now and again, there's water there, but not always. But I used to see things out of my corner of my eye when I was in the stream bed. It's only about 2.5 foot wide by about 3 foot deep by about 6 foot wide. But it was a whole new world.
Yeah.
And I actually saw these fairies and noise. First, you think, you imagine it, it's a leaf moving or whatever. But then I started seeing figures. And I got to know the faces. They were just humans, small, with wings, some of them. And I thought, oh, But at the time, it was my away space. And then I went to school, junior school. We don't call it kindergarten in England, it's junior. And I went there and you stand up in front of everybody and say, who are your mates and who do you play with? I said, yeah, I play with fairies at the bottom of the garden. I went home crying my heart out. I went home. My mother was working all the time because she was living with my mum and dad and 5 kids in the house. Plus my grandparents had a war baby living with us as well. So he was our Uncle George. Marvellous man, marvellous. And my grandmother said, what's the matter, Graham? I said, well, everybody laughed at me. I don't want to go back to school again anymore. And she went, hang on a minute, sit at this table. And I sat at the table, and right in front of me, she put a glass of water. And behind that, a candle. And she said, what do you see looking through that glass of water, Graham? I said, a candle. She says, good. Now, come 90 degrees around one side. What do you see? I said, glass of water, candle. Same thing, different perspective. They don't see the way you do. So what's your problem? I went back to school the following day, didn't care.
Huh.
And that life lesson's been with me, as I say, it's a life's lesson. Because I don't worry what you see. I don't worry what you think. I only worry about what I'm giving you. So that was my upbringing as a child. And then I found out my mother was a rescue medium, which means when somebody dies traumatically, they don't have time to assimilate that they're going to die or are dying. And they think they're in a little world within your own mind. You know, why am I only thinking about myself in my own mind? Well, that's what the spirit does within the body. And when you pass away traumatically, you don't know you've passed away, and you still live in that world of what you believe. And a rescue medium actually it's called astral projection or astral travel, to actually go and perceive these lights, which aren't very bright. Because you know within you, you have this spirit that's a blazing white light, can never be corrupted. And it's only by the onion layers of life that cloud the light of yourself that hampers your abilities. When you get rid of those negativities of your life and the experiences that hurt you, cause you grief, your light begins to shine. Your vibration is uplifted. But when you live in a trauma like sudden death, their spirits are not very bright light. So a rescue medium actually looks for these dim lights and eventually enters their world. But to do that, you've got to be very strong in yourself. You've got to be very grounded. You can't say, oh, I'm talking to spirit and I'm with the feet off the ground. You have to be really grounded. You have to prove who you are to somebody who thinks everybody's batty or crazy. I'm in my world, I know I'm alive, but this guy's coming up saying, I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to be really strong in yourself because they can change your perspective of self. So that's what my mother did before she had 5 children.
Wow.
When she had 5 children, she stopped. But while she was doing it, she had her father with her, and the minister of the local church used to come to the house, or she used to go with her grandfather to the church and rescue lost souls. And my grandmother was also a medium, and she had a crystal ball. It was a beautiful 9-inch crystal ball. I was supposed to have it, but I never got it.
Yeah.
Us relatives and stuff. But it went to where it was needed. I'm the only one out of the other 4 that used my gifts this way. And I didn't know what my gifts are. Every day, I'm amazed at what is shown me by my gifts. Because people say, oh, you're a psychic. Well, yeah, everybody's a psychic.
Yeah, as I tell everybody.
The definition, what is a psychic? Is a person, material and physical. We all have that ability to walk into a room, you see a room and you feel comfortable or you don't. Or, well, what happened in here? You know, everybody's suddenly gone quiet. What happened? And you know something negative happened. That's psychic. But spirit, when you're a medium, your energy is so much higher vibration. So when you get rid of all those onion layers around your inner light, your energy is lifted, your light is brighter. And spirit know that you are a better connection for them. And I started seeing things and feeling things and smelling things and knowing things without, how the heck did I know that? I don't have any qualifications really.
Yeah.
City and Guilds Basic Cookery, Royal Navy, yahoo! I'm a Morris Pratt course, which was medium, healer, and ministry. It should be a 3-year course, but I took 8 years because I did it totally on my own.
Yeah.
And I got some of the highest scores recorded.
Now, have you when you were over in the UK, have you did you by any chance stop into the Arthur Findlay College?
No, I always wanted to go, but I learned about that later on in my life when I was about 18. I joined the Royal Navy at 17 and a half. I did 14 and a half years. But that's another part of my growth. I had experiences in radio rooms on ships. We were never allowed in there unless you got clearance on the Royal Naval vessel. And one of my best friends, radio operator, he used to lean over the door, and I used to be in the corridor, the Burma way we called it, chatting away. And, oh, hang on, you're getting a signal. Walk away. Then they get a prelim signal that said, you're going to get a signal. Then they got it. And then it got noticed. I was always picking up before they got the prelim.
Yeah.
And I went, how do you know? I just know. Then I started being noticed and watched. And I don't know if I told you, when one of the episodes was, I was on a minesweeper and we went up to Glasgow to be de-gauss, which means to remove the magnetic field around the ship. So you can't have a magnetic minesweeper in a minefield because it doesn't really help.
Yeah.
So, and as we were going down this channel, I noticed a hill on the starboard side, right side. And I said, oh, you've had a few crashes there. That's magnetic. Well, one junior officer on the bridge burst out laughing, and the captain looked at him and said, oh, excuse me, I know this guy. Stop ship. Radio to Whitehall, verified there'd been 3 plane crashes there. They sent a team. It was a magnetic mountain.
Wow.
And it was interfering with the plane's gyros or whatever it was, and they put a no-fly zone over it. And they said, but how did you know that? Then I started being noticed more and being followed and all this rigmarole. And I thought, I'm making it up. But I wasn't. When I left the Navy in '86, I was engaged for my second marriage to get married. And I brought my fiancée down from the Midlands to Portsmouth, where I had a very good female friend who I've known for years. And she said, are you going to be working tonight, Graham? I said, I don't know. But my friend said to my fiancée, if he suddenly says, here we go, or something similar, do not say a word. No matter how you want to, don't say a word. He'll deal. And my fiancée went, okay. And as we were chatting away, this big guy came in. And oh, here we go. There's a drunk, 6'2", weighed around about 275 pounds. And I went, there we go. Eventually, this drunk came to our table. And I looked at him quite seriously in the eye and I said, hello, your name, your telephone number, your street address, your wife's name, your children's name, your boss's name, your boss's office, and the details. Now, will you tell your boss, if he doesn't leave me alone, I will do even more. That drunk fella left so quickly. I can't do any more. That's all I can do. But he didn't know that at the time. And he legged it. And my fiancé
he ran so fast, he probably thought you were part of British intelligence or the CIA.
I don't know what I said to him. My friend, my fiancé told me, you said his date of birth and everything. How did you know? I said, I don't. They do.
They do. Yeah.
And you see, working with spirit is a 24/7 life. Every single time I encounter somebody or something that's got energy in it that needs assisting, they're there.
Yeah.
How did we meet? That was amazing.
And that's an interesting backstory because we technically reconnected within just recently.
Yeah.
I first met you back in, I think it was either 2012, 2013.
I'm no good
at the Chapel of Spiritual Light in Orlando.
Yeah.
When I was working with Reverend Ben Cox with the Chapel of Spiritual Light, that's when I was still a student medium and off of Edgewater. And then during some of the psychic fairs that we that we had every 3 months and stuff. That's where I first met you.
Oh,
And I think at a couple services too, I think, from what I
yeah.
believe. And then didn't see anything from you, and I thought, yeah, oh, maybe he went back to the UK or something. And then all out of the woodwork. And then we met at the Orlando Spirit Fest. And what's interesting about the Spirit Fest is I got involved with the Spirit Fest because one of our executive secretaries with the company that I work with, when she left the company after COVID, because she never got called back, Mary Ellen,
Yeah.
she runs that whole program. She runs these fairs and puts these fairs together. And that was kind of odd too. I'm going, wow. And then it's like all the people that I've worked with in the past, we're all reconnecting.
Yes. And we all needed that space to learn of ourselves. Yeah. And I've never known what I'm going to talk about. In fact, I wanted 20 minutes before the show, I said, I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. Yeah. But you see, I used to, because I'm a minister, I became a minister with Universal Life Ministries because I was counseling so many people. You've got to have a certification to counsel as such, like in Florida especially. And I don't have any qualifications. And I thought, I've studied the Bible, I've studied this, studied that. How do you become a minister? So I found it, did it. I've done weddings and all the rest of it. And I enjoy it. But it also gave me the confidentiality. It's between me and my recipient. And I don't ever and will never knowingly break that covenant. Because my other story that I want to share, Paul, is being involved in 3 major car accidents, being held up at gunpoint, being shot at, been blown off my feet twice, held a bomb, and my best friend swapped ships at the time of the Falklands War. He never came back. Oh. And all these things have said to me, before all these encounters happened, I couldn't see myself surviving 30 years of age. I was an alcoholic by 18 to 21. 24 beers plus shorts a day. But I was a fitness freak. I ran everywhere. I was always jogging, always swimming, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to drown on a warship. Because I found out a ship, when it sinks, takes 3 to 3.5 minutes for the bubbles to dissipate. And it's the bubbles that kill you. Because it decompresses or compresses the lungs.
Yeah.
You're going in and out of water, and you're pressing not, and you lose all your air. And I went, heck no. My lungs are so big, I got my breath to 5 minutes, 15 seconds recorded.
Yeah.
My lungs are below my waist. But that was part of that. And I survived. Spirit got me to where I am today by listening to the past events of my life. Why did you survive all this? Why didn't you die when everybody else could have died?
Yeah.
And it gave me perspective. I want to honor all those people behind me. So 24/7, I work for Spirit to honor those ancestors. My grandmother, my mother. People say, who are your guides? I don't really know. I just know my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, my real father, my stepfather are all there for me. But I also have guides that come in as well. But I don't know them by name. My wife will tell you I'm the world's worst for names. Faces, I'm brilliant. I can tell you where we met.
Yeah.
But names, no. But you see, all these things of my childhood to modern day seem like it all happened yesterday. It really does, because meeting people that they're depressed or got something negative in them, I can pull it out, let them look at it and change it into a positive. Because I don't give negativity back to anybody. And I didn't know that was a gift in itself.
Yeah.
People say, oh, you know, you don't believe in negative spirits? Yeah, I know about negative spirits. I know about positive spirits. I prefer the positive.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot live without the negative.
Yeah.
You have to have them both in your life. Because how are you going to learn what's good for you if you don't have both aspects?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. You have to have the dark or the light. You have to have that transition in order to understand where you belong, where you
exactly.
are.
Because
Yeah.
one of the favorite things my stepfather Derek told me, he says, you know, we're electrical creatures. So what do you mean? He says, you've got water in your body, you've got salts, you've got iron, you've got fluid movement. It builds up a static charge.
Hmm.
Oh, and the way your heart pumps and that regular, you've got a biometric field of energy.
Yeah.
I thought, he's talking rubbish, you know. I'm only a little kid, because I met my stepfather when I was 9, and he was into taking master's degrees and bachelor's degrees just for the heck of it. He just loved learning. Encyclopedia Britannica all over the tables and flicking through stuff. And I thought, well, what's that? Got me interested in reading. I
Yeah.
learned to be a scan reader. He never believed in what I could do until 2000. It was November 2001. I finally convinced him what I could do as a medium,
Yeah.
because he said it's not scientific. And I thought, well, I'm going to come to America December the 17th. No, that's a lie. Yeah, 17th. And I will probably never see him again. So I said, okay, Dad, Spirit. I said, I need to prove to my dad what I do is real with Spirit.
Hmm.
And it came up to a simple equation. Dad, you love my mum, don't you? He said, yeah. In the same context of my abilities with Spirit, prove it. And for 10 minutes, he looked at me and he stood up and said, you got me. Stuck his hand out. In the same context. I said, because either you live for Spirit or you live for self.
Yeah.
Most people live for self and ego. I don't give a monkey's rat's what people live for. It's what I live for that counts for me to help you, whomever you are.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, on a different note here, want to take there's somebody came in on the our chat here through Zoom by the name of Julia Patterson. You know
Mhm.
her?
Yes,
Is
yes.
she our moderator today?
Well, she didn't know really that there's mediums that can actually, evidential mediums are real.
Mm,
And I've had a few incidents with people that prove that the loved ones do not cease existing when the change called death comes around.
mm. I
And I've worked with Julia a couple of times on
Well,
medium.
I'm curious if Julia, she doesn't have her camera on, so we can't see her. So if Julia would like to come in for a moment and appear or not appear, but I'm gonna unmute you, and if you got a question or comment or something you'd like to bring to the table, you're more than welcome here. Let me see if I can
Hold on.
have to. Let's see. There we go.
Okay, hold on.
You there, Julia? I can hear you.
Okay, yes, I am. I'm trying to turn on, hold on, I put this virtual background thing in.
Oh, yeah,
Look
those
ahead,
things
Julia.
can be a pain in the butt.
I heard,
Hey,
hello,
How you
that was a
doing?
heck of a, hello.
How you doing?
Good, good, good. I'm a good friend of Graham's, and he had told me that he was going to be, appearing on your webcast today. So I figured I would just hop on and monitor. So I just kind of listen to see what's going on. But
let
so
me know when you know what we're going to be doing, because we have got.
well, I am a medium too, but but this is about Graham, but I'm just kind of listening to the conversation and enjoying, what you're talking about. So that's,
Right.
just enjoying the rapport back and forth.
Go beans. Go beans.
But as I was saying to you before, Paul,
Yeah.
when you like somebody, there should be no barriers.
True.
Because
There
a
shouldn't
lot
be
of
anything, yeah.
issues people have, and it's to respect boundaries to a degree, but are you limiting yourself because of ego or freeing ego when you find somebody that you like? Like Julie and I, we've met, what, half a dozen times or so?
Yeah.
And we've worked, what, 3 times in that time professionally as medium with one another. And the ability between the two of us and the other people involved that come around, like yourself, Paul, the energy amplifies, it multiplies by, it's like a binary system, which is electrical. And when you get 2 people of like minds, right, let's break it down even more. The brain's in 10 compartments. You've got the conscious, the subconscious, and then the other parts that we're learning about.
Yeah.
So we know of 2 for definite, and the third one's becoming the superconscious. So we'll put that one in the back with the other 8, well, to make a total of 8 parts. Now, these parts are all electrical. And the energy that is shared with spirit and life are one, but at different intensities or levels. So when you get 2 like-minded people, you don't have just 2 8s. It's 8 times 8 that are working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
8 times 8 is 64 parts. Then you get another 8, another person like Julius has come in. That's 64 times 8, and then another 8, and then another. And all that energy is being transmitted in those quiet hidden parts that we don't know about or can put a label on. We've only got the 2 parts each that we know of. But when you break down those barriers, that energy amplifies every time. It gets stronger when you find people willing to step aside as ego, but there for the positivity of somebody else. Because it's not about me, it's not about Julia, not about Paul, it's about the energy of positivity. Spirit are always trying to say to us, look, you've got the chance to self-enlighten. Which means what? It means to open that inner light within you without the onion layers clouding it. You learn about your purpose of being here. And the purpose of the human race is to win one race together, to be one conscious entity. We are, but people have put ego, greed, hate, lust, all the negative stuff is blocking that connection even more so.
And I've been feeling, and I'm sure a lot of people have been feeling these blocks too, with us being part of this collective consciousness. Lately, you know, I could get up on any particular, not any particular day, but there's some days on the weekend I don't even, not necessarily not wanting to get out of bed, but I don't even want to leave the house. I just get this overwhelming feeling of anxiety and fear. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I just got out of bed, you know, had some breakfast, and now it's like, I'm afraid to leave the house. Something is telling me, stay put. There's no reason to go anywhere. I'm like,
but also, you see, you can control that. You see, every night I go to bed and say the same thing. Thank you. I survived another night. Now my body's going to rest, but my mind isn't. My subconscious, those 8 parts are still working with whatever. The dreams that we have, the affirmations and the mixing in of what we've encountered through the day is in our dreams. Sometimes it's very vivid, sometimes it's not. And sometimes we remember it, most times we don't. But you see, as soon as you wake up in the morning and say, thank you, now I've got a chance to enjoy myself again. It doesn't matter what the world's doing, because you put in a barrier automatically.
yeah.
You perceive the negative and take it as part of something you've got to fight.
Yeah.
No, you see, negativity is a balance of yourself. If it's in balance, it doesn't exist.
And the thing is too, at first it might seem negative. And I'm sure Julie,
Exactly.
you probably realize this too. Sometimes it might seem negative, but like I remember you mentioned this before, that even though it might feel negative, it's how we're translating it. But in essence, it might be something positive in the long run. It's something that we have to learn from. It's a, you know, a signal that we're picking up. Physiologically, we're going to respond to it as a negative, you know, a negative signal. But in true essence, it's not negative. It's a sign of protection.
Exactly. And you see, until you actually analyze yourself, why is it triggering me? What's triggering in the back of my head? Why don't I feel comfortable? It's because something you've experienced in yourself and you've hidden away from it.
Yeah.
Because when your spirit, and one of my favorite things my grandmother said is, your spirit looking down before you come into this world. And there's no past, present, or future. It's everything simultaneous together. You choose where you are. And you can look down from the spirit realm into this world and say, I want to experience that. I want to come in here. I want to get in that body and do this with that and find out how it works. And then later, in this side of the realm, you get something called deja vu. I am so fed up of deja vu happening in my life. I know I'm here for a reason, and I'm learning the reason, and I already experienced that deja vu the other week and a couple of years ago or whatever. And it's so much fun because it's an affirmation. I've enlightened myself, not living in spirit, but spirit having a human experience.
Yeah.
And I remember from spirit looking down, saying, I want to experience that. I did it. I've experienced that now more than once because I'm sharing it to other people. And this is the beauty of life on this earth. You make it heaven on earth or hell.
Yeah.
And I'm not going philosophical or religious or anything like that, but the whole point of the balance of life is, do you want to create positivity or do you want to create negativity? That's the way I feel people have forgotten what they are capable of. And
Yeah.
I can talk without thinking because I know what I'm saying makes sense to somebody in a way that can say to them, I wish I thought of that. Yeah, now I know why I'm here. Now I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Just one person is all I want to reach. If I reach more, thank you. The rest is a blessing. But you see, I've been through trials and tribulations you wouldn't believe. And to think, oh, you're right, you're making it up. I wish I was. I'd make a fortune with script writing.
Yeah.
You know, but when they say, oh, that didn't happen, it was like this. Again, it's the glass and the candle. Perspective is the same incident, but I saw it different from everybody else. My interpretation is my interpretation, not yours. You can see it different. You can swear blind it never happened. That's fine. I know it did for me. That's all I worry about. I'm not going to change my story to fit yours because then I'll be feeding your persona, your ego to suit you and lose myself to do so. You know about that, Julia, about giving in to somebody and you change who you fundamentally are. People say about love, you know, I want this person to fall in love with. I said, well, show your true self. Well, scare them, then they're not for you.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't show your true self and who you really are, and you got to make pretend you're somebody you're not, then when they really see you, then they're going to run away.
When I met my wife, I was doing readings in Pal Talk. I had my own psychic room. I was guiding people, and it was a Sunday. And she came into the room late. And I said, I won't be able to finish the reading because we cut off at a certain time. But I'll finish it in 2 days' time, Wednesday.
Yeah.
It'd have to be in London Monday, Tuesday. They're delivering, I was furniture driver and designer in England. And when I came back, I finished the reading. At the end of the show, she said, can we talk? That was June 2001. We are still talking to this day. We've been married 20 years. We never stopped talking. I told her things nobody else knows. She's my best friend and I have no barriers to her.
Yeah.
And people say, oh no, you gotta have a barrier. I said, no, that's the point. Our energies are so intermixed. We're almost, I know it's a quote, but be as one together. You know, I'm not saying she's my twin flame or my soulmate or anything, but she's equal to me. I have never put her in front of me or behind me or above me or below me. She's equal to me, but she lives her energy her way, which that's my wife. This is me. When people say, "Oh, you're married, you like that?" No, that's butting. You're pushing each other. You're trying to slip away or whatever. We're like this, still individual, but together, unbreakable.
Yeah.
Because there's no barrier. Love has no barrier. Spirit have no barrier with us. It's what we perceive Spirit be telling us that puts a barrier up, because it scares us. Most children in one form or another are afraid of the dark or something when they're very small, or something scares them. They say, I don't want to talk to Spirit. And later on they become so, no, extreme, negative, nothing like Spirit. And they don't realize why they get angry. I love those. Don't you, Julia, when you get somebody that says, Spirit don't exist? You're just trying to get money off us.
Well, honestly, in the work that I deal with, I can speak to two things. I mean, one of the things is when you get somebody that kind of comes with you with an opinion like that, it's usually based out of maybe a negative experience that they've had or something along those lines that's been traumatic for them. But I look at it like everybody, we are all here on our own journey. In addition to, for me, my mediumship has really given me a greater understanding of a lot of things, but I've also, I look at the astrology too. And so I think there's much more at play. Like Paul, when you were saying, like, you feel like a lot of days you just can't even, like, you don't even want to go out. I feel like a lot of that is the energy that's been circulating around the collective.
Yeah.
There's been so much fear and so much negativity, but we're in time of great change, great accelerated change, and we're all being also, ascended. So a lot of the people that have not had any kind of spiritual awakening are finally starting to get that call, like that 11:11 that keeps flashing on their clock, or they look at their receipt at the store and they have the 11:11 or a 555 or whatever it is, or they keep seeing the repeated numbers or anything repeated, and they think, oh, it's just a coincidence. But then they stop and they think, well, wait a minute, and they start looking at stuff or talking to their friends, and they're experiencing the same things, or they're fearful, this whole COVID thing, which is, there's a reason all this stuff happens. And it's not just because, we're all supposed to sit and be in our houses and be afraid, but it's a shift into the new age of Aquarius that we're all entering.
Yeah.
Where we're all going to have to work together. And the things that were the ways of the past are now, people are understanding, okay, the things that they, maybe the traditional views that they grew up with, maybe they don't fit inside that box anymore. Maybe there's more to life than what they thought. Maybe it's more than just going to work every day and punching a time clock and coming home and collecting your check. There's, they're getting the call and they're starting to awaken. And so I think, that anxiety is in the collective. It's an energy. I'm a Reiki master. So, we say, energy is everything. So, when you go into a room and have you ever gone into a place and been like, what just happened in here? Like, it's empty, but you feel like this heaviness, right? Like, what's going on here? Now, one, it could be spirit, but typically it's not. Usually maybe somebody was just in there and they were having a bad day and maybe
had a meltdown.
Hey, don't do it again, Paul.
Right? You go in there and there's just this density and but we all pick up on that. So you don't have to be a quote unquote medium to do that. we all have intuitive ability to our own degrees, but it's at what level you want to work on it as. And I think with right now, with the changes that we're going through, as like all of us collectively, we're starting to feel it's like being in a big pressure cooker, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to feel the pressure. And this has all been planned by, the divine, whatever your belief system is, whether you believe in God, Allah, Brahma, the Buddha, or you don't have a belief system as far as like there's no higher power. There's, something is happening. And collectively, I think all of our energies are connecting and realizing that these changes are happening. Some people, whether we like it or not, some people are going to be kind of dragged in, kicking and screaming, the last ones of them. But as you well see, but a lot of times you like look out the door and think, okay, is there anything going on out there? Do I want to step out the door today? Is it safe to go out?
Yeah.
So.
And I think a lot of people are realizing that there's a shift happening because quite a few people that I've known for years are suddenly coming to me and asking me certain questions like, I've noticed strange things like the numbers 1111, 555, 12 1234, just strange things, and it's happening all the time. It's always happened to me, always. And but not only that, but even other questions like, I think there's a spirit in my house, or I think I'm there's a spirit around me and I'm actually noticing it, or there's a ghost here, or this or that spirit. And when I tell them, I was like, you're waking up, you're becoming a little bit more intuitive. You're a person who didn't believe in spirit or didn't believe in ghosts of the sense are now going, their bodies or their physiology is starting to change and is becoming more receptive of this universal energy. And in a sense, they're starting to wake up.
Well, when you look at how our parents were brought up and their parents and so on backwards, you see a pattern of negativity about trusting ourselves. And I'm not saying it's religion or anything, it's just the way that it's always been done that way. You're disrupting a millennia of tradition. And I said, fine, because when you get tradition, which is one of the things that hampered me in England, because England's steeped in so many beautiful ways of living with spirit, and yet it's still blinkered, it's in a rut, because the old ways are the best ways. No, the old ways teach us the better ways. And coming over to America, I found a new sense of freedom of, this is the land of the free. What does that mean? It means freedom of speech for me and truth of communication. And I always try, when spirit are working through me, for evidential mediumship, which means to bring the persona of that person, the character of that person, the quirky little things that they used to do. One of my favorite is the time I was reading a particular lady on the left in the church, and there was three ladies on the right, a mother and two sibling daughters. Two of her daughters. And I decided, and every time I looked at the mother, I was going, my mouth was slobbery. I thought, what the heck? I'm finishing reading off this. I said, hang on a minute, I'll be back. I promise. And I went to this lady, I said, your mother had the worst fitting teeth ever I've met the spirit with. She used to take them out when she was talking. She used to put them in to smile when she was eating her. Yes or no? How the heck did you know that? I said, thank you. I'll be back to you in a minute. And I finished this lady, then I went back and did a full reading to the new lady. But the people were laughing and joking. I said, spirit are people. They're not little sheeps. We're going, woo, trying to scare the heck out of you. No, they're not like that. There's some that go, woo, we don't want you in our place because you're encroaching upon our space. And now realize that they're in the wrong space or time or realm. Get the word out. But you see, I like to show the people of spirit to the people of earth, the living on this planet, that when you pass, when your body dies, you still exist as Paul, as Julia, and all the names of everybody. You still exist, you grow, because you're here to learn the physical, because spirit is everlasting. So think about living as a physical person for eternity. It's only God that can do that, or the divine energy that can do that. Because each time you say, I want to be like God, and know what God knows, you would always encroach another realm on top of that, and on top of that, and on top of that. You could never find an ending. But with God is the ending, because God is everything. So there's no limit. People in the physical have barriers. And the barriers are of learning about your purpose here. What can you do? And if any of you have read the Bible, or for example, some of the things that were told, that if we believe enough in the spirit, we can do the same or similar. Think of what that means. In the Quran, there's sentences there that says, we can do more. It's not of the physical, it's of the spiritual. Because the energy, when you tap into that divine energy knowingly, there is unlimited potential. We use all those hidden 8 parts I was talking about earlier. Just imagine a brain completely consciously viewed from our own inner self, fully. That'd be a phenomenal brain. There's that film with a girl that makes her brain completely able to do whatever she wants. It's a recent, I don't know the names of the film, but it's a science fiction film, because it goes into this woman makes a computer from herself, from a carbon essence.
Okay. There was that one called Lucy, the one by Lucy.
Lucy.
Okay, that's a really interesting movie. Yeah,
Well,
where she no longer needs her physical body; she can enter into.
Brain is everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Just think about who wrote that. Why did they write it? Yeah, it's science fiction to us, but when you read all these ancient transcripts of what the spirit can do, could we be lied to all these years to say you can't do that? It's all science fiction.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, look at all the research they've been doing with the pineal gland, and even the ancient Indies and stuff like that. They've been, symbols of the pineal gland, and that's supposed to be the gateway to the soul, the gateway to the inner and outer universe.
And your third eye.
If we were able to utilize 100% of our brain and 100% of our pineal gland, we wouldn't need a body. In essence,
well, we don't.
Yeah.
Because, as I say, we're here, spirit, having a human experience for the material, so we can physically pick things up and touch and smell. Because, well, when you look at a light, a white light, you think it's white, but it's not. It's every color involved together combined. But it can be broken down into different colors, different levels. This is what our body does, exactly the same. We have all this potential white light inside us, then it's hampered by the skin and bones and blood and everything else.
Yeah.
The material world, it's different levels of the same white light, because it's all made up of that energy, but different intensities, different levels. Hypothetically, because till somebody could say, here's ABC, this is what it means. I'd love somebody to actually show that. But the world needs waking up now. And I know this might sound a little bit of a weird statement, but I'm looking at it as a spiritual statement. This COVID-19 is horrific what's been happening.
Yeah.
But on the spiritual side, imagine, if you will, somebody before the pandemic saying, you need to respect the space of your family, of your friends. You need to give them space, not crowd them, not be next to them, because you're going to pass infections. You're going to hinder their growth or their lives. COVID come round, everybody, woo, backing off. Oh, stay over there. So people have learned to say, hang on a minute, do I need to be next to you? Do I need to breathe on you?
Yeah.
You know,
Huh.
I'm not endorsing the COVID even slightly. It's horrible. And I know of people who've passed and stuff and suffered from it, including
Same here. Yeah. Yeah.
But with the spirit that's saying, now you've all had a chance to say, hang on, do I need to be there? Or is it because you want to be there? Do you want to have this infection, or do you need to have this infection? The COVID has taught a lot of people to say, back away a minute. Don't breathe on me for a minute. I need my space. And
Yeah.
more people are starting to be, hang on a minute. I've not been so bad. I don't feel so negative. I'm healthier. I'm able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, because I don't have to worry about encroaching upon family or encroaching upon friends or encroaching upon work. A lot of people are working from home on computers now.
Yeah.
And they're saving on gas, they're saving on food, they're saving on a lot of time and heating bills and everything. Because driving a car to work, look how many people are involved just for you driving to work. Who made it? Who created it? Who's supplying the fuel and the tires and the seats and everything? All the manufacturers. And I'm getting nose running because people are talking. When people are talking to me indirectly, it's, this side is for outsiders, this side is for family. So I'm getting people talking. And I want you to really think about the spirit side, not the human side, which is difficult. And yeah, you might think I'm a crackpot. I don't care. But I do care that you have the potential to open up the gifts that you were born with. And you, how did you become a reverend, Paul? You never thought you'd be a reverend as a child.
I never thought. And here's an interesting backstory: is my biological father died when I was 7 years old. Never really knew him. I vaguely remember some things growing up, but he served in the Korean War. He was captured. He was a POW, MIA, tortured. When he came back to the States, rescued, I heard his entire life, he changed. He became a completely different person.
Yep.
Abusive,
Yep.
alcoholic, and that was a time before I was even conceived. But before he went to war, I heard he was a man of the cloth. He was a reverend of a church, and I didn't think of that as I was going through my reverendship, through my metaphysical degrees, through metaphysics, and getting my doctorate, because going through my bachelor's, I had to be ordained to be doing ecclesiastical work and stuff like that. So it never dawned on me, and then I once thought, I'm going, wow, that's weird. I mean, that's interesting. I'm going, it's almost as though I'm passing on
exactly,
heritage, passing on what he did and stuff like that. So yeah, but in a different sense. I mean, he was a man of the Bible, the Holy Bible, of Christianity and stuff like that. But I mean, I grew up in that. I mean, I was baptized Roman Catholic. I went to Sunday school, but I never, I never really practiced it. I was a devout Catholic. But I believe in it, and I keep it, to my heart for protection, because that is my foundation for protection of the Christ consciousness.
Well, there's other part to that I've been trying to disprove to myself is, in theory, this is only supposition. In theory, the divine created us in his image, as in the spirit, but a different facet of that spirit. And if that's the case, God can't be corrupted. So if God can't be corrupted, we can't be corrupted. It's our egos that become corrupted. Our spirit light is always white.
Yeah.
Unless you come from the negative to start with, which is possible. You know, the demon and all the rest of it. But that's another story. But you see, mankind has been born with this light or dark. And there is no limit to that light. And people have gone and studied all the different positives and negatives, and it's become onion layered. I say onion layered so many times because each layer, when you face it, tends to make you cry because it hurts. The truth hurts. But people remember one thing: if you feel pain, it means your body is alive, and your body's saying, "I want to survive this."
Yeah.
If you don't feel pain, I'm sorry, you may already be passed over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not being flippant about it. It's because consciously we don't know what our subconscious can do. You've got the automatics of your heartbeat, your breathing, the way your stomach works, the way you go to the bathroom. Everything's automatic. The way you look at things and focusing, it's automatic. But did you know you can change the way your heart works? You can change the way your breathing works. If you work at it and make it a habit, you can change the automatic. So the same with the subconscious and the superconscious.
I've done that. Yeah, I've done that a couple times. You know, did some experiments and stuff, and doing some really repetitive breathing and some deep meditative experiments. I've been able to, you know, take a look at my. At the time, I had a Fitbit. Now I got like a one of those Apple Watches that monitors your heart rate. I'd sit there and then really deep breaths in, out, and go and do a meditative exercise, and you can control your heart rate.
Yeah. I used to give blood in Nottingham because I've always given blood from the age of 18 through until 47. Excuse me. And I got my little 75 pints and above award from the blood donor people in Nottingham. But they knew me I used to go 3 times a year to give blood. And then I started doing double plasma spherets, the white cells, and certain cells that they needed, they'd pass that thing through and it takes my blood out, filters it and puts it back in.
Yeah.
And they say, Graham, we've got a new nurse. So, do you want me to scare her or make her happy? Or make her happy, or whatever it was. And I used to speed up my heart rate or slow it down. So it goes, pump, pump, yeah, like I've been running. And I used to freak them out and say, I'm in a rush, I need to give them blood as fast as I can. Okay, ding, ding, ding. They said, how do you do it? I said, control my heart rate. Being a runner and a swimmer the way I was, and holding my breath the way I did, I could regulate my heart to such a degree. And now I suffer from sleep apnea, but now I'm reversing the sleep apnea because I don't want to have a machine for the rest of my life.
Oh, those are horrible.
My sleep doctor said, you know, you're not supposed to be altering that. You're supposed to be getting worse as you get older, not better. What are you doing? I said, well, I'm retraining my breathing rate. Because one of my in and outs is 3 of yours.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, Doc, if I were to tell you, you'd be out of a job.
Exactly. But that's the beauty of what the body can do when you consciously work with it. And if you make that enough of a habit, it becomes subconscious. So you can train your body to do far more by your inner spirit. Your spirit controls a lot more than you realize of the physical. It's what you've been told by your peers, and tradition can hold you back, which is why coming to America has been like eureka, panorama. Everything's wide open now. There's no barriers whatsoever, not even under my feet. There's nothing that I can't do. I'm finding different ways of not accomplishing it more often than not, but it never stops me doing it. So when people say, what can you do, Graham, with spirit? I have no idea. I consciously do not care what I do, so long as it's for the highest and best to the recipient. And you've got to always think, I'm proving life after death. So it's got to be a positive. I posted a while ago of a lady who did not believe in spirit, and her husband had just died. And I went to see her, and I knew her vaguely because I worked at a big store for 17 years and retired. So I knew her as a customer. And I saw her and I said, I need to tell you something. And I was talking on the phone to her. And she says, well, I don't know where he is, Graham. He's not come back to speak to me or anything. I says, okay. And I told her about a pair of shoes or boots or footwear that she'd been trying to find or put on and couldn't find before she came on the phone to me. And her husband was laughing. I said, he's telling me that you still can't make your mind up about your footwear, can you? And she said, how did you know? I said, because he's telling me before you came here, you were looking for them. Then how did I know she was looking for shoes before she came on the phone, or boots or whatever they were? Because it's footwear. I don't know what it is. Just footwear. Because I'm not exact. I'm human, for God's sake. You know, okay, how can I put that across? It's footwear. And he says, yeah, literally, minutes before we talked, I was looking for my shoes. I said, because your husband was laughing. She said, I always laughed when I couldn't find my shoes. How did I know? He told me. And that showed he was with her. She'd never told me about her shoe thing. Oh, when you're in the shop and you're going past, I'm a cashier and you're a customer, you don't talk, hey, you know what, I was looking for my shoes before I came here. No, it doesn't happen like that. So she just went, now I truly believe my husband is still with me. The weight of worry that left her.
Yeah.
Her heart went back to normal beating without the stress because she knew he was still with her. Love is everlasting. But remember, when you love somebody, is it conditional or unconditional? Everyone says, oh, it's unconditional. No. Do you love somebody enough to say, if you want to leave, you can go? Think how strong you have to be in conviction of knowing I give you unlimited, unconditional freedom. You choose to stay as my wife or you choose to leave. Your choice. And same back. She says, I love you enough. If you want to leave, you can go. It's not that we don't love each other. We love each other enough to say, I'm never going to hold you back. I'll always be here for you. This is what spirit are doing 24/7 with you, if you listen.
Yeah.
I think I told you about the human brain is like a computer. When you buy a brand new one, you've got to activate the programs that are installed.
Yeah.
Look for your memories. Spirit touch those memories. And you suddenly remember about a cup of tea or your grandparents or whatever it is, you suddenly remember out of your mode of normal thought. It's because spirit are activating those memories. And that's their way of saying, I'm with you. When you smell it, oh, that reminds me of such and such. They say, I'm here.
Yeah.
And people say, no, it's just coincidence. How many coincidences do you need to be a fact?
Yep. It's happened to me quite a lot. I mean, I could just be, just either driving down the road, doing some work, just anything that you would normally do day to day. And then suddenly you get a thought of somebody that has passed years ago, but randomly, it's just a boom, like you just have the thought, you see him in your mind's eye suddenly. And it's like, where did that come from? Because they just stepped in. They stepped in and went, hey, I'm here, just passing by. How you doing?
Do you say thank you?
Yeah.
I talk to people. My wife was, I'm driving along and hang on. No.
Yeah.
Trying to find out. I'm driving along. Oh yeah, it's such and such. Oh no, I haven't got a clue. But it's beautiful. You can have a laugh with them. Because they know you're going to get it right one day, even if you have to wait till you're on the other side yourself. Say, you kept on knocking on my door and I didn't hear you. or why didn't you just come in a little bit closer so I could see you? And it's our limitation of self and ego that blocks this ability. And the sooner we can let that go, and say, I still get so many goosebumps up and down my spine when what I've told somebody is 100%. What?
Yeah.
And then I said, what did I say? What did I do? Because I don't consciously think about it. Did you ever see that program with Dr. Oz and now the New York medium, Teresa?
Oh yeah. Teresa
first-
Caputo. Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
she went on the show the first time, and this is just an example. And the Dr. Oz was so amazed by her gifts, he asked her to come back on again under scientific conditions. And she returned, and there was Dr. wired her all up, a brain scan and everything, with all the electrodes and everything, and to show a live viewing of her brain activation on this wired monitor, not a Wi-Fi, manually wired.
Yeah.
And it showed the brain all lit up like your emblem behind you, you know, the KKTV. You know, everything was working. It looked fantastic. She didn't have anything lumps or anything. It was just active. And he said, whenever you're ready, Teresa. And then it looked like half of it went to sleep. Half of it just went out. And she was as animated as I am. And she was working and she was reading people and telling people. And then she came back and it all lit up again. And that explains why mediums don't normally remember what they're doing, because they've stepped out to allow spirit to flow through them. And it's not conscious, it's super conscious.
Yeah.
And that's why I can tell a lot of mediums aren't. They like to think they are. Like I don't think I'm a true medium because I feel I haven't even got near the ladder. I'm learning how to be a medium.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm honest enough to say I'm not going to get it right all the time. But like Edison, with his 1,000 attempts to make a light bulb, 999 are ways of not doing it. One is. And that's the way with mediumship. 999 ways of doing something different until one clicks and you go, got it.
Yep.
Everybody can do that one click. But everybody remembers the 909 failures. If you can do something 999 times wrong, you're gifted.
Yeah.
You're persistent as well.
Exactly. That's someone who does not give up.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell, because we have all this potential of so many different ways of using our natural abilities. But how many people want to?
Yeah.
Shall I just be blinkered and, you know, ignore everything? I can't see spirit. And an ophthalmologist, well, an optician told me, he says, you know, you see more peripherally than you do directly. And that triggered something in me, because whenever somebody says, I saw something out the corner of my eye, and when I turned, it wasn't there. And that was the focus. You see more peripherally than you do focus. Because imagine looking through a pipe as a focus. You're looking down the pipe, you see only that piece. But look at how much you're missing.
Oh yeah, a lot.
You take that pipe away, you still see what's, like I'm looking at you, but I'm seeing your books, I'm seeing things around my room, and I'm hearing my wife over there, and everything's open. There's no barrier. And the more you see, your vision becomes wider and wider.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in fact, I'm really seriously thinking I may have to get better glasses, because these glasses are becoming hampering my vision. My eyes are improving because of diet and drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we limit our abilities by what we do in food as well, and drink.
Yeah. The minerals that we should be taking in and the vitamins we should be taking in, but deficient in.
I'm not advertising, but it's just water. My wife will tell you, if I have coffee, she will disown me for 4 days.
Yeah.
Because I'm hyper naturally.
Mm.
Because I enjoy life so much more now that I'm able to be free to help spirit in helping those loved ones they've left behind.
Yeah. Here's a different view too, is when we were just talking about peripheral vision.
Mhm.
I'm the same way. I'll see spirit in my house all the time. I'll see someone standing in the doorway. I'll see somebody walking past me. And I live alone. So I know there's nobody here other than myself in the physical.
Yeah.
So when I see this all the time, even in the backyard and stuff like that, I was reading an article years ago. I think this was through the SPR in the UK that I think it might still be posted on the SPR website, but that when you said that they left your peripheral, they're always there.
Yeah.
But our peripheral is more sensitive to that vibration of us being able to see them. But however, when they move closer into our field, our normal field of vision, they disappear because we can't pick up that frequency.
Exactly.
So
exactly. The visual spectrum's so much vaster than what we know.
Yeah.
Look at birds, to look at owls, look at bats. Even bats with some of the bats have very good eyes. Beetles, ants, all these different creatures have different levels of vision. We're in a small part. Vision's unbelievable. It's the wavelength. So when you're not focused, you're more open to those energy levels. That's why you see spirit, because it matches their vibration.
Yeah.
You've got to be receptive for that. So you've got to stop thinking. And as soon as I say, I'm not thinking, I'm just saying. And they say, what did you say? I haven't got a clue. Thank God you're recording this book, because I can play back and say, oh God, I can laugh with it and laugh with myself, because I know what I'm saying is positive. I'm not being hypocritical. I'm not being negative. You've given spirit a beautiful gift today. You opened the show to allow us to talk the way we're talking. With even Julia, I think she's disappeared again. But with the people watching, just think about what it is you can see, what you can't see. Everybody's afraid of the dark, because I look at blackness as an absorption of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Because black is the emittance of light, but it holds light in position.
Yeah.
And when you see light, that's giving of knowledge from the dark. So when you look up at a star, that star has sent its light millions of miles, light years away. The star could have disintegrated into nothing by the time the light gets to us. So we're seeing the past from the dark, hypothetically, because I'm no scientist. So think about the dark being an absorption of all knowledge. Say,
It's
open the book
amazing
and
too, because if you're in darkness for a certain, and a lot of people aren't in darkness for a long period. Once you close your eyes, you sleep and you're dreaming and you're astral traveling and stuff like that. But sometimes when I meditate, I'll try to go in complete darkness and keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
And the room actually starts to lighten up. And it's not because your eyes are getting used to the dark.
It's a different vibration.
And you're starting to see other vibrations. You're starting to see colors come in. You're starting to see the other energies. You might even see ectoplasm. You'll start to see spirit energy, and it's easier to see that if you're in complete darkness. And I feel it's really fun to do, go into deep meditation in complete darkness. You get to perceive more of the spirit realm in complete darkness.
But it's also, in the darkness, you've nothing to distract your focus. If your focus is in the dark, to find inner peace, because you've got to have purpose and intent when you meditate. Meditation is the quietening of the mind. It's not about relaxing your muscles to do 50 million push-ups later on or whatever. It's about quietening of the mind and body. And when you allow yourself to relax, I can be asleep in 23 seconds, REM in 32.
Yeah.
Scared the heck out of the sleep doctor's staff. They thought I was having a heart attack. The heart was going in a fall asleep now, boom. Boom. That was a fun experience finding out I could do that. But I learned to sleep quickly in the Navy. You got a 15-minute break, 30 minutes I'd be asleep. 1 minute there, 1 minute back, 13 sleeping. Because you sleep where you can. But I learned to close my eyes, and if anybody closes their eyes, within the first 5 seconds, you see a color. Then it goes black normally. But what I do when I close my eyes, I see black straight away. I only concentrate on the color of black. I don't let anything distract my attention other than the color of black. It's all I see, feel, hear, and sense. If I hear a noise, nothing, black. Yeah. And I feel safe in the black. That's how I can get to sleep so rapidly, because nothing's distracting me from the black. Because as soon as you put light in there, you see it straight away.
Yeah.
You focus away from the black. You come into light. You're coming in awake. I don't want to do that. When I want to sleep, I want to sleep. My wife will say, I say good night. Sometimes reaching for the CPAP machine, I wake up and I haven't gotten CPAP. I've fallen asleep before I've got it. I'm so many done it here. It's weird in one way, but I get full rest. I get a solid bout of sleep for 3 or 4 hours. Then I wake up again and I'm off again, because I always have that lung and liver period of your body adjusting between 3 and 4 hours into sleep. Your body rests itself in different grades of organs within your body.
Yeah.
That's why if you don't have at least an hour's sleep, your legs don't really recuperate if you've been busy. You need at least 3 hours for your legs to feel fully relaxed. And don't go to sleep with a full stomach, because your stomach's working longer and it's not relaxing. Well, mine is every couple of hours, eat. That's the way I work. But you see, spirit work with me, and I've learned to work with them. I'm hoping somebody will actually ask if we can do a demonstration. If somebody would like me to demonstrate as a text or something, if anybody want just a mini reading, just for an example.
Yeah, let me go on to the channel here, a live channel, and see who we've got watching. Oh, come on. Starting to get used to, got to get used to doing this more often.
Or something. If anybody wants just a mini reading, just for an example.
Yeah, let me go on to, there we go. We gotta pause that. I also had the audio on when the YouTube thing opened up. Okay, open chat, live chat, all messages are visible. Yeah, I've got the live chat open on the YouTube page, at least as far as I can see.
Yep.
But I don't.
It's just to demonstrate a little bit about energy levels.
Yeah.
When you learn to open up and control what you know of yourself fully, when somebody energy encroaches or touches your energy, you feel their symptoms different from your own. And it could be that, because you wanted me to explain a little bit more of what I can do as a medical intuitive. I'm no doctor, not qualified in any shape or form, but I've, as a medium, have picked up people's symptoms all my life and didn't realize what it was about.
Yeah.
Have you got a headache? And I could feel about your bones broken or whatever it was. But then somebody said the phrase, you're a medical intuitive because your body picks up from the recipient into yours. And that blew me away. I said, well, I've always done that, but I didn't know the terminology. As soon as I accepted the terminology, my gifts opened up even more. And I was telling people, oh, I'm sorry about the cancer that you've you had, but I'm glad you recovered from it. And one
Yeah.
lady, I just touched down and knew she had what was it, a hysterectomy? Yeah, hysterectomy. How did I know? I just felt everything was missing. And another one, with rods in the back from cancer or crash or whatever it is. I'm picking up all these aches and pains because as a runner and a swimmer, my body feels a lot of pain. And certain areas, I can say, oh, did your ribs hurt or your neck? Because I have a neck issue and I've got curved spine. I say, oh, yeah, how did you know that? Because mine's playing up. Because I know what my body was doing before I spoke to the person or before the energy encountered mine. Then it reminded me of something that happened in my past. I said, oh, yeah, how's your tooth feeling? It's like, Paul, we've never talked anything personal, have we, about your physical?
What was that question?
Have we ever talked about your physical body, ever?
No.
Right. You have an issue on your upper jaw with a tooth. Did you have a cap or something put in?
On
On the upper jaw?
the upper?
Yeah.
I've
right hand side.
got something,
that side.
I've got something on the bottom. There's something on the bottom.
No, I'm feeling on the top that you had an issue with your tooth. Just think about it.
Oh.
Because I know you had a lot of pain up there at one stage. I don't know if you got an infection or something.
I remember when I was really small, I got hit in the face with a brick.
You feel like there's a lump there.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Remember, people, I'm doing a mirror image. So when I say right, it's your left.
Yeah.
I'm going this side and you're going your left side. So don't forget, sometimes people, when I'm picking up there because that's the side I'm seeing on him. I'm not turning myself around and say, oh sorry, it's this side.
Yeah. It's also, and also too, and as a medium too, it's how the medium feels on which side. Like if I feel something on my left, it's it's the person's left and stuff. Yeah.
And also like on your hand, ache on the joints here. It's like you've been picking up.
Yeah, every now and then on my right, especially my right hand.
This area?
Yeah, like right here. Yeah. Sometimes like right here, I'll feel pain.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm just picking up on this part at the moment.
Yeah, right there.
Now, this is because of the physical, the psychic ability. Because my body knows what it feels like. And your energy was reminding me of something that happened to me. And I was able to say this part or this part. This is what being a psychic can do. Energy levels. You've got to know yourself to be able to do this. You've got to be honest with yourself. Because how can you tell somebody of their issues when you're doing the medium work with spirit about somebody else? Like I said about the lady with the teeth.
Yeah.
I have teeth issues and I'm seeing dented and I'm slobbering. Why? Oh, I remember about me. And I was able to elucidate a lot more clarity of this lady's persona because I listened to what I felt. We can all do this in some degree or another, whether it be psychic or spiritual as a medium, because they're not the same. Psychic, everybody can do. Not everybody can be a medium.
Yeah. Mediumship does definitely take training. I tell people that if they wanted to get into mediumship, I can teach mediumship. I'm sure you can teach mediumship. We both went through the Morris Pratt Institute. Learning the decorum, learning the do's and don'ts. It's like tuning an instrument. We got to tune this instrument, learn how to play it, learn how it works, learn how the physical aspect of it works, and then getting spirit used to the communication. Because some people can see, some people can hear, some people can, establishing that relationship with spirit, saying, okay, if we want to communicate back and forth, raising my vibration so they can bring their vibration down so we can meet in the middle and establish this communication to give messages to the living.
Yeah.
No.
Because it's basically being honest with yourself. Because the more you know of yourself physically, the more you can help somebody else.
Yeah.
Because everybody is different. Literally, everybody is different. We may look similar, you know, eyes, nose, mouth, and all the rest of it, and all the attributes and appendages. But everybody's got the quirks. But we're all energy. You know, when you go into a bar and it's all congested, everybody's dancing around, drinking, all that, you know, it's safe to
Yeah.
go up to the bar. Oh, hang on, a bit of trouble over there. I'm going to the other end of the bar. You know, but how do you do that? It's because you're listening to yourself. You're starting to be aware of your surroundings by what your body picks up. But not everybody listens. That's why they get into so much trouble.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
And
crazy.
I'm guilty of it too. I mean, there's times I should have listened to spirit, you know, and I go, nah, yeah, I'll do it my way anyway.
But that's the foundation of learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you just go, I screwed up. You're right. I'm wrong. I've learned. Thank you. I hope I don't do it again. But we do. We always do it in some form or another. Say, being a recovered alcoholic and failed marriages and all this sort of thing. 2 beautiful children, and I didn't know them, but I never lied to them. Now I've got them starting to come back after all these years, and it's like, thank you. Because I kept to my principle. I wanted to give them freedom to be with their mum and their new father. And that was fantastic because I was in the Navy, I was stable and all the rest of it. But I couldn't be there as a father. And part of me said, you did just what your dad did. He left 5 kids. Then I found out, no, 8 kids. I found 3 more 4 years ago over here. What? I was named after a guy that was mucking about.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's why I was an alcoholic, because I was ashamed of my name and ashamed of a father that didn't. But then I found out, hang on, he had his problems. I'm not going to live his problems anymore. Now I don't care about him. It's what I can give my kids. It's the truth. If they ask, luckily I'm being asked. I'm able to say, yeah, I was a lousy father up to this point, but I've learned my lessons.
Yeah.
Slow learner maybe. Terrible. It is. I'm not belittling it. But you see, I can now counsel another person and say, you know, you've had to leave your wife and your kids, or you've had to leave your husband and your kids. I know exactly how you feel. I learned my lesson to help somebody else. Recovered alcoholic. Oh, I was a runner. I'm a cook. I've done painting and decorating. I've done carpentry. I've done electrical work. I've done this, this, and this, and this. So many different jobs to help other people. I've done about 15 jobs paid. Forklift truck driver, picker in a clothing distribution warehouse, forestry work, carpentry, you name it, I've done it. But I was never a master. But I learned enough to say, I know I like that or I don't like that.
Yeah.
But it gave me, I didn't have a focus of what I wanted to be until the last 20 years. I want to be the best I can to help somebody. Not be afraid of the dark. Not be afraid of the change called death. We all fear dying. Is how we're going to die. I don't want to go into that. I just want to know that when my body ceases working and it's in the box or cremated or chucked in there, whatever, it doesn't bother me anymore. I'm still living.
Yeah.
That to me is the only thing that matters. It's like people say, because I used to climb anything. I'm an avid climber, telegraph poles, you name it, windowsills, you know, screwing them. They said, are you afraid of falling? I said, no, falling doesn't bother me. It's the landing that bothers me.
Yeah. It's the bottom that happened. Yeah.
Everybody's afraid of falling. but they're not. They're afraid of landing. And the term, you can hear a pin drop. No, you hear a pin land. The terminology has blinkered our perceptions and our perspective of what really matters.
Huh.
I know that's a deep concept, but as I said, I'm just talking from what's given me. I'm just saying all this stuff is about how you perceive yourself in this energy. What can you do to make your life happier? Is smiling at yourself. If you get miserable, look in the mirror. God made you look like that, nobody else, and he's given you a choice. Laugh or cry. Not always easy choices, but you still have a choice. You have a choice to have heaven on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love, as I say, I'm not trying to paraphrase or anything. It's just the meaning of the words and the sentences in the Bible that I've read more than once. Just some of the key words just stick in my head all the time. You know, people say mediums talk to the dead. Yeah, not dead bodies, they're dead.
Yeah.
But we talk to the spirit.
Talk to the spirit. Yeah. There is no dead. You know, people are like, oh, he's talking to the dead. Like Reverend Ben always told us. He's like,
Oh yeah, I love
not
that.
dead. They're not. That's our perception of it. We've labeled it. We've given it a label.
Yeah.
The dead. Well, they're not dead. Now, a zombie might be dead.
I'm right. You'll see an imprint in that wall there.
Walking. Walking dead. You know, but you know, we're not speaking to the dead. We're speaking to those that their spirits have been liberated.
Yeah.
They've moved forward, their consciousness has carried on and moved forward into the outer and other super dimensions, you know, the multi-dimensional universe that we cannot perceive.
In fact, talking to the dead the way I do saved my life on.
No.
I was accosted by two guys with baseball bats in the mid-80s, and they wanted to tell me basically to change my pathway of what I was doing. And instead of being afraid, I said, please, do me a favor. They said, what? I said, kill me quick. I don't want the pain. Just kill me quick so I can come back and haunt you. What? I said, yeah. I said, do it quick. Because I really don't want to be in this body anymore. If you're going to mangle it, I don't want to be in it. I want to be gone. Then I can come back and say, here's the two, here's the two. They dropped the bats and ran. They were scared more of the fact that I said, please do it quick.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I went, what the heck did I just do? Back in nurse for a couple of hours. Out the police and the caught the guys eventually. But I even was so scared. I thought, hang on a minute, before you hit me. I said, I was like this. And I was walking up this driveway that I lived on the property. And I wanted to see the number plate, the tag plate of the vehicle. So I pretended to be too shocked. And I got the number in my head. And then I walked back and said, no, do it quick. Because I want to die so I can come back and haunt you. They ran. I wrote the number down, phoned the police, they arrested the guys. But spirit can save your life.
Oh, yeah.
They really can. I went to like a Nickelodeon, we call it over here, but it's a picture house in Castle Donington. And every Sunday they used to have cartoons on. And as kids, we used to go there, all 5 kids used to go into it. And one time we watched it, and Sunday I saw my grandfather's face, who passed away years before. And a big face, a bit like the Wizard of Oz's face behind the screen where you see his head.
Yeah.
This voice, the grandfather's head. In fact, this guy.
Ah, okay.
That's my grandfather from Diane.
Oh, Diane. I didn't get a chance to speak with Diane. I tried to get her on the documentary that I did out in Sarasota a couple weeks ago. And her and amongst a few others that, they were going to be the first on the show and the stuff. And it's like, they were so busy. Diane was
Yeah.
so busy. I was like, I couldn't get a chance to get to her. It's like,
I was watching this cartoon, then suddenly this big head appears. Get out. What? Get out now. I said, we got to go. Brother said, leave. So, 2 weeks later, we never went back. 2 weeks later, the place burnt down.
wow.
On the Sunday. Oh, thanks, Granda.
Yes.
Because they have no time the way we perceive time.
Yeah.
So, as I said, past, present, future is all in one. To them, they decide whether to look down and say, "Oh, let's go into the past. Let's go into the future, whatever it is." That's why we get the deja vu for the future and the past. So,
Yeah.
the Spirit will guide you every way if you let them. But you have the ability to control what messages come through to you for your highest and best, for the sake of others, for the love of others. You have your intent and purpose set. Every night I'll say thank you, every morning I'll say thank you. But nighttime, when I go to bed, leave me alone unless it's life or death.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
space. I've been doing it 64 years indirectly, but especially the last 20 years. That's my limitation. When I'm alone, when I'm with my wife, this is our time. When I'm working out in public, no problem. You've got me 24/7.
Wow.
But people say, aren't you afraid of spirit? These are the negative ones. Well, those negative ones make me stronger because I'm not them. And the harder they fight against me, is they trying to make me think their way.
Yeah.
Heck no, I've got 5 sisters. I learned to survive, and I love them dearly. But when you've got sisters, it's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah.
But you see, I'm making joke of it because if I didn't, it would stress me out. I'd be all negative, and then I'll be feeding that negativity. No, I'm not here to feed negativity. I'm here to feed positivity. My choice in life is to be happy and not losing marbles. Anybody in? Anybody want to have a mini reading yet?
We've got 3 watching on the YouTube channel, but I haven't seen anybody chime in on the live chat.
Oh, come on, everybody.
Yeah. Where are the 3 people? Who are the 3 people listening right now? I need to start during this that's why I need a sometimes I almost need a co-host, but somebody to monitor the programming and stuff like that. So, but yeah, there's 3. Yep, 3. Still got 3 people. Yeah, still got 3.
Oh, wonderful.
But now, as far as anybody wanted to reach out to you, what you have a website that they can?
Well, there we go. My email address is thebrit77. That's THEBRITT77 @hotmail.com. You can message me that way, or you can go on Facebook with Graham Williamson, GRAHAM, then Williamson, WILLIAMSON. Or you can go to my website, which is all one word, Medium Graham Williamson. So that's MEDIUM, Graham, GRAHAM, Williamson. .online, ONLINE. That's my website. You can leave me a message or you can phone me. But because of all these spam calls we all get, please leave a name and number, which is 352 409-1060. That's for Florida, USA. And I've been here 20 years. Leave a message, and if you want me to phone you back, I can sort something out with you. Because I do readings. I can do individual on video, on Messenger, or text, or phone, or in person. I can do groups or single people. I can do weddings, blessings, or whatever is needed because of the Universal Life Ministries. And I've been with them about 10 years now. And it's helped me immensely help other people. And when I do a wedding, it's only for the bride and groom. Everybody else is critical. And I always have fun at my weddings because the last wedding I did, I found out indirectly that the bride was an avid sci-fi follower. And I found out who she loved. So I ended up getting some attire and standing in front of her, she's walking up to the minister. Her face grew. Doctor Who's marrying me. She loved Doctor Who. I'd got a jacket from a thrift store. I bought the Doctor Who scarf and the bow tie. And she was ecstatic. And everyone was looking, what's he dressed like? But it was for the bride and groom. They were both avid Doctor Who fanatics. And it made their wedding special. You see, when you marry somebody, it's a partnership. And if you're honest from the get-go, that partnership will expand. But if you start bringing things out of the woodwork, which is why pre-marriage counseling is so important.
Yeah.
You've got to say, you're going into a contract with the divine. No matter what church or whatever you believe, you're marrying by the divine's will. You were created to be together or not. Only you two can decide. I'm only here to facilitate this union. But if you're not honest with yourself, the marriage isn't going to work. Period. It can't. Because the two souls aren't the two souls. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit. You can't marry a little bit of anything.
Yeah.
All or nothing. And I love the phrase, whosoever has reason that these two should not be joined together in matrimony, you can use the word holy if you wish, means if somebody thinks that they love you more than the one you're going to marry, can't open your mouth up. Oh, he's an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend or partner, whatever you want to say. So spirit help you evolve. Because God put you here for that purpose, to find out who you truly are.
Yeah. So we got Alana Herring from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, I love Australia. What's her question?
Alana, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. You just chimed in. You want a reading? You want something? Let's see.
Just a little text or something. It's morning over there, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I believe it is.
It's I'm not too sure the time. 14. I think it's 14 hours difference. So it'd be about very early in the morning for her.
Yeah, because when I lived in Shanghai, it was exactly 12 hours of our time, but one day ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, because England's 5 hours in front of us.
Yeah.
In America. So, what I would like, Alana, you said her name was?
Yeah, Alana, ALANNAH, Herring, or Hearing, HERRING.
Okay, if we can get one text from her, if she's willing, because I'm trying to demonstrate the energy that you put in your intention in words, a medium can pick up from, or a psychic can pick up from. Is she saying anything?
Not yet. I've got Angela. Angela Danica has I can't pronounce her last name. I can never pronounce it. Bunayczan. She would like a reading.
Okay.
And Angela is from Winter Garden, Florida.
Okay. No more information, please, Paul.
All right.
Angela, just say yes or no to this statement I'm going to give you. Your shoulders, below the neck, but between the shoulder blades, your posture has been very bad, and you get a lot of issues between your shoulder blades and neck. Yes or no? I'm not saying painful, but issues, just issues. Because I know you get the headaches. A lot of people have this problem with posture.
Mm.
And they forget why, people say, oh, that's an easy one, everybody. But also know the headaches, also know the sinuses. She has issues with bright sunlight and the sinuses are affected. She has running eyes a lot. Also, she has a wax problem in her ears. Not detrimentally, it's just that she has the issue.
Yeah. I know there's about a 15-second delay between
Yeah, there is.
what we're saying and when it gets broadcasted through YouTube.
Which
So
is why I'm only trying to just keep it down to that piece. So allow her yes or no.
yeah,
And if it's no, I love her, the skeptic. I do love her. I love no's because that means I have to work harder.
So I haven't heard anything. Yep. Angela said yes.
Thank you. You see, the energy from Angela, in terms of the way she thought out what she was going to give, she had to admit to herself first. And I picked up on it before she even did that. Think about the energy all the way to Australia, and I'm in Florida.
Angela,
how can I pick up her symptoms?
Yeah. Now, Elena, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but Alannah, and the last name Herring, the one from Australia.
Yeah.
Saying, hi there. I was wondering if I will be okay. I am about to have my employee contract terminated.
Well, you've been thinking about changing your position anyway for about, especially the last 18 months, because of COVID and all the rest of it. So you've also been learning other skills. So why don't you take this opportunity to actually jump ahead and do the job that you really want to do? You enjoy what you're doing now, but you can do even better by admitting what makes you happy. People are too afraid at the moment, and this is why we were talking earlier about the energy level and how we're all raising our vibration in the collective by being honest with ourselves. We're all part of the same energy, but we've been separated by belief system and our peers and what's expected of us by everybody else. The herd mentality, for want of a better phrase. And now there's a lot more people becoming the light warriors, the ones that stand up and say, we're out of the matrix. And I'm not using that as a joke either. We are out of the matrix of being told who we are.
Yeah.
We have actually stood up and said, I'm me.
Yeah.
And the friend in Australia there, thank you for trusting me and being able to tell you what I've told you. That takes courage to do. But you've got far more courage in yourself when you believe in yourself. Because look at all that schooling you did before you went to the job you're doing, and you didn't finish your schooling, and education-wise. I'm not saying you dunked out of school or anything. It's just you didn't finish all your training that you wanted to do. You've had time now to sit down and change your path. So this contract, think about the term contract, what it means. It's holding you back. If you've got to have a contract to stay there, why are you there? Well, it pays good money, but are you happy? No. I choose to work in a place that makes me happy. If I'm not happy, I'll leave regardless of the wage.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, well, you can't make it in life, you know, you got to make money. No, money, if you live for money, doesn't help you. It's a very short, you can't take money into the upper world. You can only better yourself by the use of money. You don't let money use you.
So Alana has said thank you. I have started looking for a new job.
But is she finishing her education?
Um,
I hope she's going to finish her education in the job that makes her happy. And it's a lot more in depth than she realizes. Because she's got a hell of a brain on her.
yeah.
And she's a young lady. She's under 30.
I wish
Yes
there
or
was.
no?
I
Under
wish
30.
there wasn't a 15. I wish there wasn't a 15-second delay on this one. But we're at. I'm waiting.
But that's it. We can
Why
talk
isn't
about
the
it.
Starlink system 5G Starlink system working already?
But we can use that time to amplify what we're saying.
Yeah. Yep.
So everything's as its purpose for us to reflect on what I'm saying, what you're saying, what she's saying. And it's a bit like the COVID.
Yep.
You know,
And a lot of people have woken up, through this whole COVID thing. It's changed people's lives. It's not only changed people's lives, but in a good way or a bad way. It's changed people's direction of the road that they're trying to travel. But at the same time, I'm sure a lot of people have noticed this. It's created new industries. It's created new jobs, different ways to go about our economy and stuff like that. So it was a giver and a taker.
yeah, but that's the beauty of it. And so in no way am I saying this COVID's been good. It's not. But
Right.
in the spiritual aspect, it's given, as I said before, it's given people the time to say, do I need to be there? Do I need to be doing that? But I've got relatives that are working from home around the world, but based in America, and doing a fantastic job, getting promotions and all the rest of it. But if she was at the place, visually, it impairs you because you're focused on those in front of you and those around you, and you listen and being told. But when you're working for yourself, for a big company that she works for, it's amazing. She's found out I can really do this. Hey, I'm excelling because I'm not being hampered by other people. She's given a project to do. She's done it. Nobody trained me or gave me basic training. You see, when you trust yourself, you can achieve even more than you think. Have you heard that expression? Do you know what you're thinking? Can you do better than that? When you think, you're held back by your peers, by tradition, by ruts and culture. As soon as you stop following it and stand up and be individual, say, I can do this. And you do it, what she said. Has she said anything yet?
Not yet. I'm kind of nope, nothing yet.
If I'm wrong, just tell me I'm wrong. I'm fine with it. No, because I'm picking up what I'm picking up and I'm saying it. I won't take it back because what I'm saying is positive, and it's not just an excuse to say something positive, to be nice or anything. It's what I feel.
Yeah.
And, you know, people have amazing gifts, and I somehow make people see a mirror when they talk to me, because they say, I was thinking that and I wanted to do that. How did you do it?
Mm.
I don't know. It seems to be working. Or if it doesn't, I'm doing something else. Because I'm not limiting myself.
Yeah.
As I said at the very beginning of all this, you know, there's 1,000 ways for Edison to finally get the last one right, and 999 different ways of not doing it right. Well, a medium is very much like that. There's so many ways of doing it differently.
Yeah.
And you may not see the same perspective and answer than myself, but that's your choice.
That's the thing too. I try to, tell people that are not familiar with the mediumship in general. Not only that, but like the definition. People don't understand what the definition between a psychic and a medium is. But a lot of mediums out there, even a lot of psychics, you can have different ways of receiving the information.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
And delivering the information can be tricky too, because like I said, some of the readings I've done, you don't remember it,
Yeah,
because you have to give, as soon as the information comes in,
yeah,
I have to deliver it immediately, because
Yeah.
if I don't deliver it, I'll forget it.
yeah. And as I said, you're not Long Island medium, Teresa. It gave me I'm not losing my marbles feeling. Why don't I remember when I'm doing reading for spirit? Then seeing that on a show helped me go, I'm not losing my marbles.
Yeah.
It was scientifically on the screen showing her brain sleeping when she was working, and she was just as animated as you're at the moment.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
Alana came back and said, thank you. I am enrolled at a university doing a degree in sustainability. My study is on hold at the moment.
How did I know? I didn't. But she's finishing her education.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's actually started to believe in herself. Thank you. Yes. I never get tired of it. Do you?
Yeah.
It's not guesswork.
No.
I'm able to say A, B, C, D, and she comes ding, back to college doing this.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love Australia. Well, I love anywhere I am. But
We just and from Australia, from the United States to the Australia, thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for chiming in, and God bless you guys in Australia too, because my heart and prayer is with you and your country, because what we're seeing over here on the mainstream media doesn't look good, and I just yeah, my hearts and prayers go out to that country and continent. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, for the whole world.
Yeah.
Because we're a global planet now.
Yep.
There's no limit where you can go or what you can do, with drones included. And I'm just glad that we have the abilities now to at least help a lot more people.
Yeah.
And don't forget, with technology, we've been able to record more spontaneously of incidents that happen every day and have done for thousands of years, or since the Earth's created. Now we're able to record it and share it with everybody. Spirit have been trying to do the same since man first walked this earth.
Yeah.
He helped the caveman learn how to be a psychic. Can you imagine going in a cave and finding out there's a bear in there, or saber-toothed, whatever it was, or snakes? There's something there. I'm not going to it. We've, through the millennia, changed into psychic beings, but also we're spiritual. And whether you believe in ghosts or not, that's another issue. But remember, you are from the divine. Whichever belief you have, you are created from the divine. And that is immortal.
Yeah.
It can only change in frequency and level. And we perceive that as life and death, for example. And when the body dies, the spirit doesn't. It's written in so many different holy books.
Yeah.
Everlasting life. If you believe in, for example, Jesus Christ, believeth in me, you can do this, if not greater, is about the spirit. The spirit is you and me and everybody joined together by this energy of God. Stop being that country, that belief, this belief. We're all human, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Or divine or Buddha or whatever you want to believe. We're all the same. No one person is in charge. No one nation's in charge. We're all supposed to be living harmoniously of this earth. Look at animals. And they're supposed to be animals. They can live in harmony or say, we're going to move you because you're encroaching on our space. But they don't bear vendettas. They don't purposely go out to hurt something. They eat or die.
Yeah. Yep.
And I know a lot of people say look at different animals to do different things. Yeah, but I'm just using the symbology of it. We call animals animals because they are not conscious like us. But you look at a dog. A dog's got more love in it per cell than any one human. The whole body.
Yeah.
Dog loves you unconditionally if you treat it right. If you don't, it just wants to be loved. We want to be loved. Spirit wants to love you because their loved ones passed over onto the next side. And they're coming back to say, we love you. Here's your highest and best. And I say, you want to contact me? thebrit77@hotmail.com or Graham Williamson on Facebook or Medium grahamwilliamson.online for my website. Leave a message.
Yeah, leave a message, give them a call, leave them a message.
Yeah.
Like I said, what I'll do is I'll put your information down on the long description on the bottom of the of this video when we're complete and stuff like that.
Have we been on for 2 hours?
Just shoot me a text after this with the information you gave. I can't write that fast. I can't write, talk, and
I will send you in the text. I will make sure you get the information, my friend. But 2 hours have gone by already.
Yeah, right. I told you. It got really quick.
I love it. But thank you for having me. And Spirit, thanks everybody for being here.
And definitely. And Alana from Australia says thank you once again. Definitely.
Thank you, Alana. You'll have to send me a post and find out a bit more of what's happening. I'm nosy.
Yeah, definitely. And for all the listeners out there, and for those, even though yes, this is live, but yeah, it'll be on our YouTube channel. So those who are going to watch this later or whatnot, subscribe to the page. Let's see, I get
whichever side it's on,
and then off to that side of the screen there's a little symbol down here. You can click on that, and or to the subscribe and stuff like that. So anywho, Mr. Williamson, Graham Williamson, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. And like I said, more than welcome. We could do this either once a month or once a week.
Whatever you want.
We'll see how how frequent we can do this and pick up some on other subjects and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Awesome.
It's been enjoyable.
Cool.
I took the hind legs off a mule, by the
way. Right on. And maybe even get in the studio sometime, if you're out on the weekend or whatnot and stuff, you're not busy, come on in. And Nancy will be in the studio.
Oh,
Nancy Robbins will be in the studio this Saturday.
I'm going to meet Nancy again.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's like right down the street from me. I'm like, how did we live that close? I never knew it.
It's amazing how people that are right for you at the time for you to learn something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whether it's good or bad, it's how you perceive and what you do in response to that. That is your lesson. They can be angry or positive, whichever way it is. It's how you respond that gives it credence or none.
Yeah.
I love people that are really angry and all this side. They'll say, "Have you got a mirror for a minute?" Why? Because looking at your face, you'd have as much a laugh as I do. It just blows them out of the water. You're insulting me. I said, well, think what you're doing at the moment. You're insulting yourself. What? It takes the mind away from the negative.
Yeah.
If I didn't think I'd have any impact, I'd be the first one running that way, faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
I'm a living coward, not a dead hero. Hey, I've been to Northern Ireland. I've seen a few things. I've experienced things. But as I said, I'm honouring my ancestors and those that allowed me to live.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. We get their knowledge and power from them. So.
Hey, Julia, welcome back now.
Hi. We were getting ready to sign off, and we were wondering what happened.
I'm so sorry. Yes, I had to step away. I was on. I left it on. I was trying to get back, but I had to step away. I apologize, but
Welcome back anyway. Nice to see you again.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're catching our what do they call it? The finale.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I do want people to remember that it can be heaven on earth. You don't have to wait to go to heaven.
Yeah.
You know, we're given a choice of how we live our lives. And my little grandson, 5 years age, painted this rainbow. He's never met me physically. But being called Grandad is a whole new ball game for me.
Yeah.
And he loves doing things for his granddad and his grandma. And that is the beauty of life. It's simple from a child's perspective. People say I'm childish. I take that as a badge of honor. Because if I can stay childish after what I've been through, thank you.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson. But I'm not childlike.
Yeah.
I have a quick laugh and I enjoy it. You'll tell them, Julia, what I'm like for laughing and joking around. I can't be serious. But my message is serious. It's about life after death. I'm a medium. There's nothing to be afraid of death. It's just how you're going to die is what you need to be concerned about. Not afraid, but concerned about.
Yeah.
Live healthy, happy lives. And that's all I can wish anybody. And meeting people like you, Paul, and Julia has made my life all that much better. Because I can talk with my friends, not at my friends.
Yeah.
Heck of a difference. Okay, then, Paul.
Hi, brother.
See.
It's been a pleasure to have you on, and let's do it again sometime. Julia, thank you very much. Maybe we can do a show and get a little bit more. Have you have the podium for a little while?
Thank you. It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
I'll disappear next time, Julia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm joking around. You know I can't be serious because everything's in its place. You know, there's no right or wrong. It's what we do with it that makes it right or wrong. As I said, you know, life's life. You live life to the best you can in the circumstances you're given. So, you know, there's no wrong or no right. It's what you need to do for you that's as important. Not what I say or do, it's how you do it.
Yeah.
Life's simple. People screw it up is one of my favourite sayings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right, you better turn this off now. It's recording.
Been
Because I could say something then to Julia, but no, I'm only joking. But no, thanks, Paul. It's been a blessing.
a blessing, my friend. And you guys have a wonderful night. And until again,
Definitely.
everybody for tuning in to Conscious Radio Network. Join us again.
Yeah,
Out in space.
there's that one.
Bye, everybody.